Good afternoon, baseball fans and friends, and welcome to Texas High School Baseball on SHN Sports by-district round between the Cedar Creek Eagles of District 18-5A and your Rouse Raiders, the district champions of 17-5A. The Eagles come in today 17-15 with an overall record and 6-6 in district. The lineup for the Eagles this afternoon, number 11, Philip Figueroa, will be on the mound for the Eagles. Number 5, Clavin Clark, will be in center field, batting second. Number 4, Hunter Houston, will be behind the plate. Number 7, Gabriel Gonzalez, will be at third base. Number 12, Ashton Figueroa, will be at second base, batting fifth. Number 20, Garrett Seagraves, will be in right field, batting sixth. Number 3, Aiden Prenz, will be at shortstop and batting seventh. Number 2, Payne Allen, will be in left field. And rounding out the order, number 22, Benji Garrison, will be at first base. The Eagles are coached by Josh Thomas, assistants Brett Hoffman, Scotty Stevens, and Matthew Noelcamper. For the Raiders come into today's action with a 20-10 overall record, 12-0 in District 17-5A. The Raiders are coached by Chad Crimpine, assisted by Josh Harris, Dan LaPaglia, and Spencer Richards. Leading off for the Raiders, Dalton Porter in right field. Batting second will be the designated hitter, Jared Southard. He will be hitting for the catcher, number 2, Andrew Garcia. Number 22, Connor Bennett, will be at short. Batting fourth, number 26, Lance Little at first base. Number 34, Fisher Kingsbury, will be on the hill for the Raiders this afternoon. Dylan Lewis will be at second base. Number 6, Jake Alepa, will be in center field. Batting eighth, number 3, Matt Garcia, will be at third base. And rounding out the order will be number 14, Alex Servidis, in left field. We'll take a moment for the national anthem, and we'll be right back with you. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. It's baseball time in Texas. We're on the campus of Glenn High School here in Leander, Grizzly Field. And we want to thank the kind folks here at Glenn High School for allowing us to come over and play on their field. Wet conditions at Rouse prohibit play. So it's nice to have a turf field within the district that it's close to Rouse that we can come over, and it can virtually be a home game for the Rouse Raiders. So they've opened up the field, opened up the press box, and my good friend, the one and only, the great one, Scott Mount, alongside me tonight as we bring you Raider baseball.
Thank you, Michael. What a great day for baseball. Storms came through, clear weather now. A little bit of wind coming out of the north, but that's all right. It's a great day. If you're just tuning in, come out to the ballpark.
It's a great day for ball.
Glenn's even got the concession open for us. That outstanding help here.
And they're grilling burgers over there too, so you can get you a fresh hot hamburger at the concession stand. So come on down if you can, and watch and cheer your Rouse Raiders on, hopefully to a victory here this afternoon.
We had a great game Thursday night, didn't we? It was.
We did.
Started off slow, but ended up a really good, exciting game.
It's a best-of-3 series. The Raiders took the first one in Cedar Creek 8-3, largely due in part to the third inning 2-run jack by Dalton Porter to even the game back up, and the Raiders just took control from there, and Connor Bennett put his foot on the throat of the Eagles, and they were unable to get another run across the plate for the remainder of the game. Well, I take it back. They got one run. It was 8-3.
One run. So. But no, you're exactly right, Michael. Connor Bennett, once Dalton tied it up, Connor really got into his groove, and that's all it took.
Number 11, Philip Figueroa, digs in from the right side. Again, we remind you we are not streaming video throughout the playoffs, so you will get audio only. Scott Mount on the scoreboard. Figueroa takes for ball one, a pitch high and outside off the hand of the tall right-hander.
And, folks, I'm only on the scoreboard when I can remember. If I get something wrong, I don't know who it is.
The 0-1, it's hit out to left and over the head of Servetus, and he loses the ball. That'll be a stand-up double for Philip Figueroa.
Yeah. And Alex got caught just out of position on that one. With the wind blowing in from the north the way it is, left field may see quite a bit of action today.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher, number 8, Keaton Lopez, at second base. Well, the winner of this series, as it's the best of 3 series, let's just say it that way, that sounds better, will face Porter in the next round. They have already advanced and won their by-district round over A&M Consolidated. Pitch from Kingsbury, high for ball one. Wind blowing in from the north. The flags are blowing pretty straight, so it's good stiff wind. Kingsbury steps off and looks Lopez back to second. Kingsbury comes set. The pitch to Van Clark. In for a called strike. That'll even the count 1-1. So able to work out the technical bugs and got our audio back in our headsets.
Well, you are the man.
So got that taken care of, and we're good to go this morning. We thank you for tuning in and listening to Rouse Raider Baseball. Kingsbury spins off and again looks Lopez back to second. Hunter Houston on deck for the Eagles. Fans trickling in and the stands beginning to fill up. The 1-1, Van Clark lays the bunt down. Kingsbury has it, the throw to first in time as Lewis covers the bag. That will go 1-4 on the putout. That moves Lopez to third base.
That was a well-placed bunt right down the line the way it was supposed to. Kingsbury barehanded it and almost looked like he bobbled it for a minute.
Number 4, Hunter Houston, the catcher, will stand in. He digs in from the right side. Pitch from Kingsbury, curveball, misses outside for ball one. One on with one out here in the top of the first. We're scoreless here in Leander. From the stretch, fastball gets the outside corner for a called strike.
We've seen that now a couple couple of throws, Michael, that this umpire likes the high outside. So we'll keep that in mind. We've got a great vantage point, folks.
The delivery swung on and missed for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter Houston. Kingsbury has the sign. He delivers, and it's chopped on and hit up the middle. Kingsbury looks Lopez back to third and lobs over to first. 1-3
Brings up number 7 for the Eagles.
on the putout,
Gonzalez.
and that will bring up the third baseman, number 7, Gabriel Gonzalez. And Gonzalez had a solid effort Thursday night.
He did.
Against the Raiders. He was a hard out. Pitch outside for ball 1, which has been consistent so far for Kingsbury. He hasn't thrown a first pitch strike yet. Blue skies over Grizzly Field here in Leandro. Changeup misses up high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Gabriel Gonzalez. 1 on with 2 outs here in the top of the first. We're scoreless. Foul back to the net for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Gonzalez. Again, in the playoffs, we have 4 umpires, 1 at each base, and
always a nice addition to have 4.
Ball 3 on a curveball outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Gonzalez. The 3-1 swung on and fouled back out of play, and that works the count full. It'd be good to get the punch out. Help build confidence for Kingsbury. Getting his first ever playoff start. The payoff pitch, just cut on and hit down the line to third base. Garcia has it, and it was rolling toward the line and looked like it was going to go foul, but Garcia picks it up, and that'll allow the run to score.
Yeah, Michael, we've talked about this before. It's hard when you're charging the ball, and that's probably one that Matt should have let roll foul because it was clearly going outside the line.
It was rolling, and it was almost on the line. Had it gone over the line, it would have been a foul ball. 1 run is scored, 1 run on, and he'll pick up the infield single. Kingsbury steps off and looks Gonzalez back to first. Kingsbury, another one of those with a great pickoff move to first.
Very good. He's just like Connor Bennett, has that fast pivot, and he's got a few pickoffs this year under his belt already.
Ashton Figueroa takes for strike 1. Figueroa, the second baseman for the Eagles. A throw over to first, not in time, as Gonzalez dives back in safely. Kingsbury from the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Right down Broadway for strike 2, and Figueroa quickly in an 0-2 count. Nothing in 2, the count to Figueroa. Kingsbury delivers curveball, just misses high.
Everyone
ball 1.
Everyone thought that was called third strike, except the guy who counts.
Except the guy behind the plate.
Yeah.
All 9 Raiders were, well, all 8 Raiders.
All 8 Raiders
were headed toward the dugout. Garcia, he stayed put. Swing and a
There
miss
we
for
go.
Figueroa, and that will do it. Raiders, or the Eagles, get 1 run on 2 hits and one left on after 1/2 inning. It's the Eagles 1, Raiders nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Well, with it being a good sunny afternoon, Scott, we always start off feeling hungry. I didn't eat any breakfast this morning, and
None.
you know what? Some good brisket tacos would probably hit the spot.
I think a brisket taco from our friends at Bohemian's Barbecue would hit the spot today. And I'm not sure if they supply the concession here, but they supply the concession stand at Rouse Baseball, Bohemian's Barbecue. If you want to try some for yourself and you cannot make a game, go out to the city of Jonestown on your way to the lake in between Cedar Park and Lago Vista. They've got a food truck out there off of 1431. Really thank their sponsorship this year for Rouse Raider Baseball. Bohemian's Barbecue.
Defensively for the Eagles, Philip Figueroa on the mound. Hunter Houston behind the plate. Minji Garrison at first base. Ashton Figueroa at second base. Aiden Prince at short. Gabriel Gonzalez at third. Payne Allen in left. Clavin Clark in center. And
leading off the Raiders in the bottom
Garrett
third,
Seagraves
number
in
55,
right.
Dalton Paul Porter.
Didn't have his name quite memorized. Leading off for the Raiders in the bottom of the first, number 55 at the Dalton Porter. Porter in right field this afternoon. He takes for ball one. A pitch high and outside.
I can assure you the Eagles know who Mr. Porter is.
Yes, they do. Getting a lot of wind over that crowd mic, maybe some on our own mics. Porter takes for strike one, and that'll even the count up 1-1. The 1-1 delivery high for ball two.
Fans still trickling in. We've got a good crowd so far.
Jared Southard standing on deck for the Raiders. The 2-1, that's in for a called strike, and that'll even the count back up at 2.
Now the strike zone seems to have raised up a little bit.
Two balls, two strikes to Porter. Pitch from Figueroa, high and outside for ball three, and Porter works the count full. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And Figueroa strikes him out. That will bring up
the Raiders,
the designated hitter, number 23, Jared Southard. Southard hitting for the catcher, Andrew Garcia. Connor Bennett on deck.
You know, Michael, I was going to comment how green the field is and all the rain we've got, and I remembered it should be green.
Playing on a turf field. Southard takes for ball one. Everything is turf except for the pitcher's mound. Pitcher's mound covered with Diamond Pro.
Well, it is nice to be able to come to a game and your stripes are all there, your batter's boxes.
The 1-0 delivery. The slider gets the outside corner for strike one, an even count.
Home plate doesn't sink.
The 1-1, it misses way outside. Fastball for ball two. The 2-1 delivery. This is chopped on and fouled back for strike two. Goes over the press box.
I see Mr. and Mrs. Rouse coming into the stands.
Glad to have them here. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Philip Figueroa. Gets the outside corner for strike three and catches Southard looking. Figueroa with back-to-back strikeouts. That will bring up the shortstop, number 22, Connor Bennett. Pitch from Figueroa misses inside for ball one. The 1-0 delivery, fastball. This is popped up and looks like it's going to go into foul territory and out of play. That will even the count up at 1-1. 2 outs with nobody on here in the bottom of the first. The Eagles lead this one 1-0 over your Rouse Raiders. Number 26, Lance Little on deck. Figueroa winds, swing and a miss from Connor Bennett for strike 2. He's behind in the count 1-2. Glenn High School nicely situated here in North Leander. Bennett gets a hold of this one and hits it back foul. Manages to stay alive.
I really like the Glen scoreboard here. It's more the traditional style that some of the stadiums are going back to. Shows each
1-2 pitch. This
inning.
is popped up and playable. Ashton Figueroa calls it. Makes the catch, and that will do it for the Raiders. They go in order. No runs. No hits. Nobody left on after one complete. It's 1-0 Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Due up for the Eagles in the second, Garrett Seagraves, Aiden Prenz, and Payne Allen.
Leading off the top of the second for the Eagles is going to be number 20, Garrett Seagraves.
Garrett Seagraves will dig in from the right side as he will face Kingsbury for the first time this afternoon. Stand-up double by Philip Figueroa in the first and eventually gets that run home. Seagraves takes for ball one, a pitch down and away in the dirt from Fisher Kingsbury. Kingsbury exclusively from the stretch. This pitch fouled off, and that will even the count 1-1.
Well, this is a good combo here with Kingsbury and Garcia as the catcher. They've paired up quite a bit this season, and they practiced their signals together. This is a good combo.
Kingsbury comes set. The 1-1 delivery. That's in for a strike. That's another one of those high fastballs that gets the call.
I think we should pause and let me go down and talk to the umpire real quick and say, hey.
The 1-2 pitch. This is cut on. It's popped up and hit out to shallow left field. Cervetus has lost it. And that will be a double for
that was
Garrett Seagraves, which should have been
an easy
pop fly. But he lost it evidently in the clouds, and
that's very unusual, uncharacteristic of Cervetus.
Raiders give up back-to-back doubles, leadoff doubles to the Eagles. It should have been out number one. Number 3, Aiden Prenz stands in, the shortstop. So he takes for ball one. Showed bunt and laid off. And the 1-0. Kingsbury will spin off and getting a lot of cross breeze. We're going to close the door and see if that won't help out. 1-0, and that hits Prinz, and this is definitely not the way you want to get this inning started. You get 2 on.
Brings up number 2 for the Eagles, Payne Allen.
It's Payne Allen comes to the plate. Allen batting from the right side and playing left field. Cedar Creek in their road black jerseys with black and blue lettering and numerals, bordered in white pants. Pitch down and away for strike 1. 2 on with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Kingsbury takes a long, hard look at Seagraves at second. Allen bunts this foul for strike 2. Kingsbury toes in from the first base side of the rubber. And again takes a long, hard look over at second. He'll spin off and look Seagraves back. Prinz extends his lead over at first. Nobody's holding him on. The 0-2 pitch. In for strike 3. The umpire actually looked up the scoreboard to see that it was strike 3.
Yeah, delayed there.
Allen caught looking for the first punch out. That will bring up number 22, Benji Garrison. Garrison playing first base. He was the starting pitcher in Thursday night's game.
Threw quite a good game there for a while.
And took the loss. From the stretch, and Kingsbury will step off and look Seagraves, trying to hold him tight to second base. Doesn't want him to get over to third. Again, Kingsbury comes set. The pitch, curveball, gets that outside corner for strike 1. He's really got a wide strike zone.
It's moving around today.
Yeah, that was kind of between the plate and the batter's box. The 0-1 on a curveball that should have been called a strike.
That was a better pitch. And
that'll even the count up 1-1. 2 on with 1 out here in the top of the second. The Eagles lead this one 1-0 over the Raiders. Benji Garrison at the plate in a 1-1 count. Kingsbury picks up the sign from Garcia. Comes set. Pitch, a fastball. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Had a golden opportunity to pick Prinz off at first, and Garcia missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garrison. This is cut on and popped up playable. Infield fly rule was called. Batter is out.
Back to the top of the line of the Eagles. Number 11, Philip Figueroa.
Dangerous hitting Philip Figueroa. Raiders intentionally walked him twice in Thursday night's game.
Yep. We'll see what happens here because Eagles do have one in scoring position.
Moving the outfield over to play the shift.
Yeah, Crimpine's giving his signals now to left.
The pitch for Kingsbury. That's high for ball one. Figueroa 1 for 1 with a stand-up double last inning. And the one run that has scored for the Eagles. Slider down and away that's fouled off and out of play. That will even the count up at 1. Well, I'll tell you what, the wind noise over our microphones has died down since we shut the door. Still a little bit of breeze blowing through here, which is good because there's no air conditioner.
I just noticed that this press box is exactly like ours, but no air conditioning.
The 1-1 misses outside. Slider down and away for ball 2. That was a pretty nice looking pitch, Scott.
Sure was. I never noticed that, Michael, but you're right. And there's no AC up here.
No AC, and they don't have any Ethernet either. The 2-1 is cut on and fouled back to the fence for strike 2. That will even the count up, and wind popping our microphone, our crowd mic outside. So I'll turn that volume down so it doesn't override us.
Well, I guess maybe football needed another couple of water buckets or something. Had to be valued engineered out of the press box.
Football always gets the best of everything. The 2-2, that's cut on and hit down the third base line. Go step on the bag, and Garcia does. And that will do it as Seagraves
heads up play by Matt Garcia.
Out on the 5U unassisted for out number 3. Figueroa hitting to the fielder's choice, and that will do it. 1 run, no runs on 1 hit, and 1 left on.
Hang on,
After
folks.
1
It's
and a
only
half.
going to get better.
It's 1-0. Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Well, with the bad weather that we had last night, Scott, it's good to have windows and siding that can stand the severity of the storms that blew through Leander and the whole Austin area last night with flooding and a lot of high water crossings.
Well,
closed down.
It's some of our listeners have already taken advantage of the company that sponsors Rouse Baseball. That's Austin Pro Siding and Windows. They've been in business for quite a few years, and they've been helping out the Raider program here. Contact James Hardy over there. He's one of their elite professional installers on the siding, and they'll help you out. They also do roofing work. So Austin Pro Siding, Windows, and Roofing.
Due up in the second for the Raiders, Lance Little, Fisher Kingsbury, and Dylan Lewis. Little digs in to the right side, and Raiders dressed in their home white unis with gold lettering and numerals bordered in Raider cardinal or maroon.
And their platinum blonde bottled hair.
The 1-0 misses outside for ball 2.
Long tradition for the varsity club when they want to put some rally on. The seniors will dye their hair.
Figueroa winds and delivers a fastball. Looked a little low, but he gets the call. He was down the middle. Kingsbury on deck, swing and a miss from Little for strike 2. That will even the count, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Little. Figueroa winds and delivers. This is cut on and hit over towards second. Ashton Figueroa has it. Will throw over in time. 4-3 on the putout of Lance Little. Figueroa sat the Raiders down in order back in the first. Fisher Kingsbury will dig in from the right side. Righty-righty matchup as he takes for ball one. He doesn't seem to be relatively as consistent on that outside pitch. That pitch gets the outside corner for strike one. That's a good pitch for Figueroa.
That was a good pitch.
1-1 the count to Kingsbury. Curveball. This is hit into the gap and into left field, and the Raiders have their first hit and first runner on base. Look for Ethan Moore to come on and courtesy run for the pitcher.
And courtesy running for Fisher Kingsbury is going to be number 18, Big E, Ethan Moore.
Grateful for Don Porter being here, our PA announcer, our home PA announcer, and he's taking care of the PA duties here in the press box at Glenn High School.
Have you ever heard Don Porter sing?
I have not.
It is amazing.
Is it?
Oh, he's a natural.
Can he carry
He can
a
do
tune?
some. He can carry a Gary Allen. I'm telling you.
I'll sing to everybody out here.
Probably sing some George Strait too. You can probably croon that tune, The Chair, right? Second baseman Dylan Lewis will dig in from the right side. 1 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Raiders trailing 1-0 to the Eagles.
All right, Big D, let's get this going.
Figueroa from the stretch, a swing and a miss. The throw down to second will be in time, easily in time. And
That was interesting.
it was a cover swing by Dylan Lewis, but it just kind of looked like everything fell apart as Hunter Houston threw a strike.
He
Swing and a miss for strike 2. And Dylan Lewis in an 0-2 count with 2 outs now. The 0-2. He did not. Appealed to the first base umpire, and Lewis draws a sigh of relief and able to get another chance. This is a liner right back to Figueroa. The throw to first in time, and that will do it for the Raiders. They go in order for the second time. No runs on 1 hit. Nobody left on. After 2 complete, it's 1-0 Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Eagles 1, Raiders 0.
You know, something like this, when the Raiders are right now, it looks like they're in a pickle. They should probably call our friend Dale Vanoy.
They really should right now.
I think so. Dale would come up here and he'd straighten them out. And, folks, he can help you as well. Dale Vanoy with Farmers Insurance, alumni, proud father of Cody Vanoy, all-state catcher, graduated last year. Give Dale a call. State Farm Insurance, he can help out your career or your insurance needs.
I'd like to thank that fine family, Dale and Lucinda Vanoy.
Let's not forget Mom, Lucinda's was at almost every game. Also have a daughter in the softball program, but she graduated.
She graduated in the middle of the year this year
Yeah.
and is starting for, I believe it's the University of Charlotte, something like that.
It is the University of Charlotte. Somebody mentioned that with the
On top of the third, that'll bring up number
that's
5
where she had gone
for the
to.
Eagles, Clay Ben
I
Clark.
believe it playing in the ACC.
Speaking of alum, I see there's Lee Bazemore down on the sidelines now wearing his Rouse Raider shirts.
Number 5, Clavin Clark will stand in. He digs in from the right side. Pitch misses low for ball one. It was in the dirt and between the legs of Garcia. 1 ball, no strikes to Van Clark. Kingsbury has a sign. Comes set from the stretch. Curveball. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Not sure what that was.
That was an outstanding pitch. A curveball from Kingsbury. Just did not get the call. The 2-0 delivery. A fastball. It was down and away. That must be a makeup call right there, because that was not a strike.
No, that was, how we like to say it, just a bit outside.
A bit outside and low, but 2-1 the count to Van Clark. This is popped up and playable. Lewis moves in, makes the catch, and that will retire Van Clark for out number 1. Infield fly for out number 1, and that will bring up Hunter Houston. Houston 0 for 1. He lined back to Kingsbury with 1-3 on the putout. So he takes for strike 1. And that was a beautiful pitch right down the middle. That was perfectly down the strike zone. That's the one you want. The 0-1 misses down and away. Curveball for ball 1. The count will even. He has. There's another one, another alumni, Mark Hooper.
Mark Hooper, yeah.
The 1-1, this is popped up. It's playable. Dalton Porter calls it, makes the catch. And that will retire Houston. F9 on the putout.
Brings up number 7 for the Eagles, Gabriel Gonzalez.
Gabriel Gonzalez, you remember, Scott, he hit that little dinker down the third baseline that Matt Garcia misplayed and played it in fair territory as it was beginning to roll foul and got the infield hit. So he takes for ball 1.
Well, that's the only run that the Eagles have so far.
The 1-0, that's cut on and hit foul and out of play for strike 1.
Let's try to keep it that way.
Kingsbury working through the heart of the order, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters right now as he faces Gabriel Gonzalez, number 4, the cleanup man for the Eagles. He calls time and will step out of the box. Stands are looking pretty full, Scott.
They are full.
Fans lined up along the fence. Got a lot of dads.
Alumni.
Gonzalez takes. He gives that outside. I mean, that was in the left-hand batter's box, and he gives that strike.
He doesn't like him straight down the middle, but he'll take the outside. So, hey, okay.
That's interesting. The 1-2 pitch, that's cut on and hit over into right field. Porter with an opportunity. Will not get it. Garcia plays it. He had an opportunity, but Gonzalez just a little fleet of foot. Will get another single.
Andrew Garcia made a really good play there backing up first base as the ball could have easily gone all the way back to the backstop, and that would have been a double.
Well, it would have been an error on the throw over had he advanced. Ashton Figueroa stands in from the right side. Figueroa struck out. He's 0 for 1. Fouls this one back out of play.
And this is not the Figueroa that we walk all the time.
No, this is his brother.
His brother.
Cousins. Oh, primos. 0-1, the count to Figueroa. On the pitch from Kingsbury, high. If it gets the call. And Figueroa quickly in an 0-2 count. which is similar to what he had his first at bat. The 0-2 misses low for ball one. He's in the same exact count that he was in, that he struck out on back in the first. Gonzalez extends his lead at first. Curveball, this is hit out toward right. Dalton Porter tracks it, makes the catch, and that will do it for the Eagles in the third. F9 on the putout. No runs on one hit, one left on. After 2.5, it's Cedar Creek 1, Raiders nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. So with the sun being out today, Scott, it's a golden opportunity for people to get out and mulch their yards and work in their flower beds.
Sure is. And, you know, the stuff that you want to use is that outstanding mulch from Austin Woods Recycling. Local company, locally owned, right there in Cedar Park off 1431. They're the ones that have all that great organic mulch. You should go by and get you a few bags. I believe you were saying last Thursday that your wife had plans for you this weekend.
She did. We're playing baseball today, and then she's got a VBS meeting at church from 2 to 5, so
may have to wait until tomorrow.
May have to wait till tomorrow. She did say that. She said, well, we always got tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll be doing that in between church services tomorrow.
That's really, really good mulch, though, and the Austin Woods Recycling is another proud sponsor of the Rouse Raider baseball program. We thank them for their help all year long. You know, they also help us out during our homecoming parade. So they're a year-long sponsor.
Number 6, Jake Alepa will dig in from the right side, leading off the third for the Raiders. He takes for ball one. The 1-0, he takes inside, shows bunt, lays off for ball two. Matt Garcia on deck. The 2-0, that's in for a strike. That was a belt-high fastball right down the middle. 2 balls, 1 strike to Alepa. The pitch from Figueroa is cut on and missed for strike 2. That will even the count up at 2. The 2-2 misses low for ball 3, and Alepa works the count full. Figueroa thought he had the punch out.
Yeah, that was that was hard to hold back on that one.
Figueroa winds the payoff pitch. That hits Alepa in the helmet, and that's why they wear them, folks.
Yep.
Hit by pitch will get Alepa aboard.
For the Raiders.
And folks, you hear us thank a lot of our sponsors. It's their sponsorship that allows the team to have these upgraded batting helmets for the varsity. They're not your typical
Matt Garcia
$20 brand.
digs in. He digs in from the right side. He faces Figueroa for the first time, and he pops a bunt up, foul, and Houston catches it, and that will do it.
Brings up number 14 for the Raiders.
He fouls
Alex Cervez.
or hit it up into foul territory, but popped it up to where it was playable. Throw over to first, not in time as Alepa dives back in. Alex Cervitas stands in. He takes for ball one. Dalton Porter on deck for the Raiders. Figueroa from the stretch. The pitch, swing and a miss on a high. Some really high cheese for strike 1.
Timeout call by Crampine. He wants
Probably.
to make sure that Alex has the signals right.
He's probably asking Servetus, what were you swinging at?
Well,
Dude, that was up above your shoulders.
I wonder if Alex has his contacts in today, or
One ball, one strike to Servetus. One on with one out here in the bottom of the third. Raiders trail by one. It's 1-0 Eagles. Swing and a miss on a slider. Down and away for strike two. Figueroa takes a brief look over at Aleppa at first. Comes set, he delivers. This one's cut on and hit foul. And Servetus stays alive. Rouse Raiders in their third straight year of playoff baseball as they face the Eagles here in this by-district round. Pitch for Figueroa, high for ball two. Fastball that was about 3 foot out of the zone. So he takes a long look, takes several looks over. He peeks over his shoulder. Hit and run called, and Servetus fouls it off. And Aleppo will return back to first. Two balls, two strikes to Alex Servetus. Throw over to first, not in time as Aleppo gets back safely. Fans continuing to pour in. The 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss on a pitch that was in the left-hand batter box.
That brings up number 55 for the Raiders, D.P. Porter.
And that will bring up Dalton Paul Porter. Porter 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first.
Well, if there's ever a time for some magic, we're calling on Aunt Kindlin right now.
One on with 2 outs. Figueroa from the stretch. Pitch inside for ball one. Had brought Hunter Houston out of his crouch. So that didn't get to the backstop. He's doing a good job behind the plate so far today. The 1-0 delivery is chopped on and hit foul down the first baseline and out of play. That will even the count up 1-1. Nice white puffy clouds over the field.
Just a really nice day.
Stands in sunshine, field in partial shade and sunshine. The 1-1 delivery misses high and outside for ball two. Porter standing at the very back of the box, almost out of the box. Figueroa comes set. Pitch, this is cut on, and this is hit out towards center. Van Clark over, makes the catch, and that will do it for the Raiders in the third. No runs on no hits, 1 left on. After 3 complete, it's 1-0 Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Texas High School Playoff Ball. By district round between your Rouse Raiders, the district champion of District 17 5A, and the Cedar Creek Eagles, the 4th place finisher of District 18 5A. Other district action this week, Hutto eliminated Cedar Park out of the playoffs as they took 2 games back-to-back from the Timberwolves. 1 o'clock game starts for Georgetown and Pflugerville Weiss. Georgetown, the district champion of 18-5A, and Weiss, the 4th place finisher of District 17-5A. And then Georgetown Eastview, who finished 2nd in 18-5A, will face the 3rd place finisher, Pflugerville Panthers of District 17-5A. Both of those 1 o'clock game starts.
That brings up number 20 for the Eagles, Garrett Seagraves.
Garrett Seagraves comes to the plate. Seagraves with a double. He's 1 for 1. And it was out on the force. Curveball. That's the first time he's called that one on that inside for strike 1. Nothing and 1 the count to Garrett Seagraves. Kingsbury from the stretch. Fastball. This is cut on. Hit over towards second. Lewis has it. Throw over to first in time, and that will retire Seagraves for out number 1. That will go 4-3 on the putout of Seagraves. Number 3, Aiden Prinz will come to the plate. Prinz, the shortstop for the Eagles. He was hit by pitch. His first at bat. Payne Allen on deck. Pitch for Kingsbury, in for a called strike is
good pitch.
Prinz took all the way. Kingsbury starting to find his rhythm. 0-1 becomes an 0-2. And Prinz quickly down in the count, 0-2. Kingsbury comes set. The pitch. Oh, he said he held up, but it looked like he went around on that one. The bat head appeared to cross over the plate. That's all it has to do. Whether you pull it back or not, it just has to cross over the plate to be a strike. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch, a swing and a miss for strike number 3. That's 2 outs. And the 3rd strikeout for Fisher Kingsbury.
Fisher's in his groove now.
Payne Allen, the left fielder, will dig in from the right side. In fact, every one of their lineup are right-handed batters. Allen takes for ball 1.
Umpire does not like that inside call.
The 1-0 delivery. In for a called strike right at the top of the zone. It'd be interesting to see if you could do a spray chart of his strike calls to see where those strikes are. Unfortunately, we do not have that technology at the high school level. Allen takes for ball 2 on a pitch that he's consistently called a strike outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. This is in on the hands and popped up playable. Garcia catches it, and that will do it for Allen and the Eagles. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. The Raiders retire the side in order. It's Cedar Creek 1, Rouse Raiders nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
You know what, Michael, we were talking about food earlier. Sure got craving for a Sal's Calzone.
Woo, that would be good.
If you want one of those, you got only one place to get them. That's Reality's Italian food over there at Anderson Mill Road, 183. You're home away from Rome. Bob Reale, the owner, proud Navy veteran, thank you for his service. Gino runs the shop now. Well, you can always find Bob there walking around and making sure that everyone's happy. And if somebody's not happy, well, he knows a guy.
He knows a guy.
And he'll make it straight. He'll make it right for you. But Reale's Italian.
Well, Houston on his throw down to second.
It was more of a
Lost his balance.
more of a roll, I guess. It was bowling.
Threw it as he was going down, and it rolls past the pitcher's mound into shallow center field.
UT commit Jared Southard, see if he can get something going here.
Southard 0 for 1. He was caught looking back in the first. Figueroa back on the hill for the Eagles as Southard fouls this one off, and it was close.
Well, he got out of there quickly, didn't it?
It did.
Quick bat.
He turned on it.
Jared, one of our
Jared hits with tremendous power.
Senior players that will be leaving after the season.
He takes for ball one a curveball that went sailing high. The 1-1 strike pitch, he lays off, and interesting. The pitch that was low and away, called a strike.
I'm not sure how that was even playable, that one, but.
Well, Houston had to come out of his crouch and go to his knees to even play it. The 1-2, that's outside, and that will even the count up at 2. Ryan Galloway beginning to get loose. Somebody's getting loose in the dugout. Fastball sails high for ball 3, and Southern works the count full.
Looks like we have a little activity in the bullpen.
Okay, Mason Bowers getting loose. Southern pops this one up. Clavin Clark charging in on it, and he makes the catch.
That'll bring up number 22 for the Raiders, Connor Bennett.
And that will do it for Southern. Shortstop, number 22, Connor Bennett. We'll dig in from the right side. Lance Little on deck. Pitch for Figueroa. This is cut on and popped up. Shortstop makes the catch. Aiden Prinz, and that will do it for Connor Bennett.
That'll bring up number 26 for the Raiders, Lance Little.
Number 26, Lance Little, will come to the plate. Little 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up. He takes for ball 1. Fisher Kingsbury on deck. Figueroa winds. He delivers. Fastball down and away for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Little. Nobody on with 2 away. Railers trailing by 1. The 2-0. This is hit back up the middle. This will go into center field. And Little picks up a single, and the Raiders have a base runner aboard.
Brings up number 34 for the Raiders, Fisher Kingsbury.
Got it.
Kingsbury, he's 1 for 1.
Getting a signal from Coach.
1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Oh, excuse me, bottom of the 4th. Pitch outside, a fastball for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Kingsbury. Pitch from Figueroa. High and outside for ball 2. Figueroa not pounding the strike zone as well as he was earlier in the game. Looks like he may be starting to fade just a little bit. 2 balls, no strikes to Kingsbury. Pitch is cut on and hit foul back out of play for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good turnout for both squads here today, Scott.
Sure is. And we thank the Glen baseball team for making us feel welcome today.
The 2-1 delivery, that's high for ball 3.
As we said, folks, they've even got their concession stand open, so they've got good food. Come on out if you're just listening. It's a great day.
Dylan Lewis on deck for the Raiders. Throw over to first. Not in time as Little dives back safely. Seeing some Grizzly baseball players here in the stands. Boy, that was right on the thin part of the handle. He was lucky to get a piece of that. Count goes full to Fisher Kingsbury. 1 on with 2 outs.
Yeah, his body language walking back up to the mound shows a little bit of fatigue.
Figueroa comes set. Kingsbury gets a piece of it and sends it back out of play. Little will track back to first base.
Is that Cody Kelch walking up?
Cody Kelch, one of our alumni.
Yeah, he's even got a Rouse Raider playoff shirt on. Thank you, Mr. Kelch.
Matt Bazemore in tow. Kingsbury cuts on this one and hits it out. It's going to drop in. Ben Clark lets it drop in for a base hit.
Just gave up running on it, I guess.
Brings out number 1 for the Raiders, Dylan Lewis.
Raiders with back-to-back hits.
Ethan Moore, courtesy running.
A little 2-out rally going here.
Ethan Moore comes on as a courtesy runner. Crimpine calls time. He wants to talk to his batter. They're going to bring in a pinch runner, Zach Miller, for Lance Little to get a little extra speed on the base path. And now Coach Thomas is going to call time to talk to his squad about strategy and what they want to do.
Strategery.
Yes, some strategery, as our former Bush 43 would say. It's one of those nice little Bushisms.
And Coach Crimpine is calling up additional JV players to get them ready. That's what you have, Mr. Miller.
So Bazemore and Kelch, as they were walking by, they're 2 of the 16 that graduated last year.
That shows the strength of the Rouse family here. We've got alumni parents, alumni players on a nice Saturday coming out to the ballpark.
They love baseball. Dylan Lewis will dig in from the right side. And Figueroa steps off, and I think he just wanted to do a reset. Garrison moving up like he's going to play the bunt. Be unusual to bunt with 2 outs. Figueroa from the stretch. The pitch. Fastball down the middle for strike 1.
Well, it doesn't get any nicer than that, does it?
Well, as some parents would say, not your pitch, not your pitch. The 0-1 delivery is cut on. This is hit out toward right center. Seagraves over, makes the catch, and that will end the Raider fourth. F9 on the putout of Dylan Lewis. It's when you wish you had one of those nice little Texas leakers.
Almost.
It looked like it had potential, but it dies or it keeps up in the air and gets the out. No runs on 2 hits, 2 left on. After 4 complete, it's Cedar Creek 1, Raiders nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Now I'm wondering if our team had an opportunity with the bad weather to get over to Kane Southwest in their indoor batting facility.
Well, I got to tell you what. I was here yesterday. I got here about 5 o'clock and spent some time visiting with Ray Southern. And it was lightning all around us. And about 6:15, 6:20, the bottom just absolutely fell out. And the kids were running because they had gone to the high school for shelter. And when the bottom fell out is when they all came running out back over here to get their batting equipment,
their gear,
to get back on the bus. So they were getting drenched because the high school campus is, what would you say, maybe
that's a good quarter mile at least.
Good quarter mile?
Maybe 5/8. That's that Aggie
Leading on
math.
top of the fifth for the Eagles, number 22, Benji
But
Garrison.
Zach Sneff at Kane Southwest Outdoor Facility in Leander, he has certainly helped our team this year, opening up his facility when we had all that bad weather in February and March.
Benji Garrison stands in to get things started here in the 5th for the Eagles. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Garrison 0 for 1. He flew out and then on the infield fly rule. Back in the 2nd. He takes for ball 1. That will even the count up at 1. Kingsbury from the first side of the rubber. This is cut on, hit foul for strike 2. Garrison down in the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. This is lined back up to Kingsbury. He will lob it to first, and that will do it for Garrison in the 5th.
Brings us back to the top of the order for the Eagles. Up to
One-
bat number 11,
1-3 on the putout.
Figueroa.
Back to the top of the order, and Philip Figueroa. Figueroa 1 for 2. He has a double and hit into a fielder's choice. Little chopper hit over to third. Garcia has it. The throw over in time, a 1-hopper. That will go 5-3
That brings up number 5 for the Eagles, Clay Ben Clark.
on the putout. That's 2 away for the center fielder, number 5, Claven Clark. If he comes to the plate, he's 0 for 2.
And Matt Garcia really fielded that one well.
He's grounded back to the pitcher and flew out to second. Pitch takes for ball 1.
It's a pitch count that Kingsbury's up to. Do we know?
Graduated from Concordia and student taught there in 2012 and got hired next fall. How old are you? 30?
Two balls, no strikes to Claven Clark. Kingsbury picks up the sign from Garcia. The pitch, this is hit out toward right. Porter over on the liner. That's going to be L9. That wasn't much of a pop fly. That was a liner.
More of a liner.
Right. And the Eagles go in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 4.5, it's 1-0 Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. And thank you for tuning in.
And thanks SHN for providing another year of good Rouse baseball. A good partnership with them. This is their second year with us, and hopefully we continue this on.
Fine folks. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening started this network several years ago, and they have several silent partners that help them along. And if I told you their names, they would be very recognizable. But Rob and Carl, not one to ever throw those things out there.
Never have. And last year when I was on the board, they were extremely professional and worked with us and came in and made a professional presentation, and glad to have them back on board for this season.
Good things in store for SHN Sports starting in the fall as their football coverage will kick off. Number 6, Jake Alepa, will dig in from the right side to get things started here in the Raider 5th. Alepa hit by pitch back in the 3rd and ended up stranded. Pitch from Figueroa. Goodness gracious. That's about a foot out of the zone and ruled the strike. The 0-1. Alepa turns on this one and hits it foul. From our vantage point, it looked like it had potential to go fair, but
got pushed over just a little.
That was going down the third base side. Alepa 0-2. Pitch from Figueroa. Misses for ball 1. Matt Garcia on deck. The 1-2 delivery, a curveball. That was high, but Alepa caught looking for strike 3.
Brings up number 3 for the Raiders, Matt Garcia.
Tell you what, this guy's strike zone is kind of all over the place on a different type of axis. Garcia takes for strike 1. Alex Servidis on deck for the Raiders. Nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. The Raiders trail by 1. Garcia takes for ball 1. That will even the count up. The 1-1 delivery. This is chop foul down the third base side for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Garcia. Swing and a miss.
High and outside.
Very high.
Brings up number 14 for the Raiders.
For out number 2,
Alex
back-to-back strikeouts. Figueroa picks up his 5th strikeout. Raiders don't typically strike out that much. Figueroa having success. Alex Servidis stands in, and he pops this one up toward right field. Garrett Seagraves over, makes the catch, and that will do it. The Raiders are retired in order in the 5th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 5 complete, it's 1-0 Cedar Creek. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Fisher Kingsbury back on the hill to pitch the sixth for the Raiders. Leading off the sixth for the Eagles, number 4, the catcher, Hunter Houston. See, chops this one back to the pitcher. And that will do it for Houston.
Brings up number 7 for the Eagles, Gabriel Gonzalez.
1-3 on the put out of Houston. That will bring up the cleanup hitter and number 7, Gabriel Gonzalez. He's 2 for 2. So he takes for strike 1. And not that they've been solid singles. They were playable. He hits this one foul back out of play. Nothing at 2 the count to Gonzalez. Kingsbury comes set. He delivers a slider down and away for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch misses outside for ball 2. Nobody on with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Cedar Creek leads this one 1-0. Gonzalez chops this one foul and will stay alive. So 2-2, the count to Gonzalez. The 2-2 pitch. He was able to check his swing. Ball 3, that takes the count full. The payoff pitch, curveball in for strike 3, and Gonzalez caught looking, and he knew it. He didn't question it whatsoever, and he will
Brings up number 12 for the Eagles,
head back to the dugout.
Figueroa.
That will bring up the second baseman, Ashton Figueroa. Figueroa 0 for 2. So he takes for strike 1. Fastball down the middle. Swing and a miss for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch misses low for ball 1. Kingsbury thought that might have been a strike call, but the 1-2 pitch, curveball drops in for strike 3 as Figueroa caught looking, and that will do it for the Eagles in the 6th. They go in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 5.5, it's Cedar Creek 1, Rouse Raiders 3. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Dalton Porter digs in from the left side. Righty-lefty matchup. Philip Figueroa back on the hill for the Eagles as Porter takes for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Dalton Porter. The 1-0. This is chopped on and popped up, playable. Hunter Houston calls it and makes the catch. And that will do it for Porter.
Brings up number 23 for the Raiders, Jared Southern.
Figueroa doing an outstanding job of keeping these Rouse hitters off balance today. Raiders with only 3 hits on the game. Southern stands in. He takes for ball 1. Southern 0 for 2. Caught looking in the first and flew out to center. He takes for ball 2. Connor Bennett on deck for the Raiders. The 2-0. It's outside for ball 3. Yeah, I think Southern has the take sign on.
I would think so.
Three balls, no strikes to Jared Southern. Figueroa winds. He delivers inside for ball 4.
Is that the first walk for?
That's the first walk that Figueroa has given up.
Connor Bennett.
He hit Aleppa earlier in the game, but other than that, that's the only free passes he has issued in this contest. Connor Bennett talking to Coach Crimpine and makes his way down. Houston took a moment to talk to Figueroa. The Raiders can win this one. They will face Porter next week. In the area round. First pitch
Just
down
a
and
bit
away
outside.
for ball 1. The chatter really starting to build up in the Raider dugout. The 1-0 delivery. This is popped up and playable. Ashton Figueroa over makes the catch. And that's what Figueroa has been successful at all afternoon. He's
These pop-ups.
getting these pop-ups, and
Lance Little.
Another pop fly, and
Raiders have had plenty of runners stranded in this contest. They've stranded 3. We have a pinch runner for Jared Southern. That would, and I think somebody knows a guy.
I think somebody knows a guy.
That would be number 21, Robert Mount,
Robert Mount, pinch running.
the son of the great one, Scott Mount.
I don't know about great, but that's
Actually, if you
pressure's on now.
Actually, if you listen to conservative radio at all, Mark Levin, he likes to call himself the great one.
The great one.
Or maybe that was something Mark Hannity started calling him the great one. Nonetheless,
Well,
Scott Mount fits that bill.
Be interesting to see what kind of signs coach gives here.
Little digs in from the right side. Figueroa from the stretch. The pitch high and outside for ball 1.
I know the Raider team is antsy because, of all things, tonight is prom night for Rouse Raiders.
Yep, and if the Raiders lose this one, they will play the second game 30 minutes after this one.
That's right.
The 1-0 cover swing is Little gets a piece of it and fouls it back to the fence.
It's one of those
strike 1.
Life's decisions, baseball or prom.
Throw over, not in time as Mount dives back in safely.
I know that body language well, taunting the pitcher.
1-1 the count to Little at the plate. Figueroa from the stretch. The 1-1 delivery. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Pitch high and outside. He rules a strike. He has been consistently inconsistent all afternoon. 1-2 the count to Little. Pitch sails high for ball 2.
Are we sure?
You know, one thing you really hate to harp on is umpires behind the plate, and I don't like to do that, but man, he has just missed so many calls going both ways today.
He started off very consistent with that outside corner.
Little fouls this one off and stays alive. 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Raiders trail by 1. Deuce is wild to Lance Little. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mount bouncing back and forth, trying to draw the attention of Figueroa, and he takes off running, and Houston will throw him out. Safe. He missed the tag. He dropped the ball.
He got away with that one, folks, I'll tell you, because the slide was not the best.
Somewhat lackluster. Raiders not used to sliding on turf, and so I thought he was safe by virtue of the way he spun as he was getting up. That was a good throw by Hunter Houston.
I was about to say, well, he's out, and Dad was wrong.
Full count. Pitch outside for ball 4. And the Raiders have 2 runners aboard for Fisher Kingsbury. Kingsbury, he's 2 for 2. And Coach Thomas will call time. He wants to go talk with Figueroa. Let's see how they pitch Kingsbury. Kingsbury 2 for 2.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, the base runner's out, but obviously Dad was wrong, but I've been told I'm wrong quite a bit.
So since Don Porter's a singer, maybe we need to get him and Ken Shaw together.
Oh, that would be a nice crew. Yeah.
It says a singer, I said sing.
He's not a singer. He just says he sings. So I guess it depends on how you define or differentiate
yeah.
between the two.
We
Hey.
need some voodoo ink, Kindlin. Send it.
He laughs a little bit too, so he likes a good joke. Fisher Kingsbury stands in from the right side. Mount extends his lead at second. Figueroa takes a long look. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball one.
Sounds like rolling thunder out there.
1 ball, no strikes to Kingsbury. Mount extends his lead a little bit more. Prinz working behind Mount, trying to catch him off balance and get Figueroa to throw him out. Pitch, this is hit out to right, and this is a fair ball, and it's headed over toward the fence in the corner. This will score Robert Mount. Lance Little rounds third base. He's headed to home, and he will score. The Raiders take the lead, and Kingsbury with a triple. Fisher Kingsbury with a stand-up triple. The Raiders have taken the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the sixth. A triple off the bat of Fisher Kingsbury. Raiders take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the sixth.
First running for Fisher Kingsbury, number 18, Ethan Moore. And up the back for your Raiders, number 1, Dylan Lewis.
2-out rally for the Raiders here in the bottom of the sixth. And they take a 2-1 lead over the Cedar Creek Eagles. Timely and outstanding Figueroa puts it right in the wheelhouse of Fisher Kingsbury. Dylan Lewis stands in and takes for ball one. The Raider faithful showing and cheering Fisher Kingsbury a little bit of love here at Glenn High School. Lewis takes for strike one. That will even the count up at 1. Ethan Moore courtesy running for Kingsbury. Lewis takes for strike 2 and behind in the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That's high and out of the glove of Hunter Houston. That will even the count up at 2. And would have been interesting had Coach Crimpine put the steal on from home to see if Moore would have scored. The 2-2 pitch. That's high and outside for ball 3, and the count works full.
Wow, that is normally a pitch he's been calling strike on.
It is. That's why I say earlier that he's been consistently inconsistent.
We'll take it, but very surprised.
The payoff pitch down and away for ball 4. And the Raiders have 2 aboard, runners on the corners.
For the Raiders.
For number 6, Jake Alipa.
Alipa.
So not sure the signals the umpire is giving. Two outs.
That was
They're
interesting.
giving some hand signals back and forth between the umpires.
Umpires have got their own set of signals now.
Maybe there's signals for them on having runners on the corners. Figueroa steps toward third. interesting, a right-handed batter or a right-handed pitcher doesn't have to throw over if they step toward third like a lefty does to first. If he doesn't throw over and he steps to first, that is a balk. Alepa takes for ball 1. Figueroa comes set from the stretch. Pitch down and away. And Lewis will move to second on defensive indifference. Raiders now have runners at second and third. And Alepa in a 1-1 count. And they're going to intentionally walk Alepa to get to Isaac Upchurch. Upchurch pinch hitting.
Pinch hitting for the Raiders. Number 13.
For Matt Garcia.
Isaac Upchurch.
And I think we all know what that means then.
So it may not be pinch hitting. He may be a substitution because Upchurch does play third base.
And who was pinch hitting for Garcia? I believe it was Jared, wasn't it?
No, Jared was hitting for Andrew Garcia, the catcher. Bases loaded with Raiders for Isaac Upchurch. Figueroa from the windup. Upchurch takes for strike 1. Moore at second, Moore at third, Lewis at second, and Alepa at first. As Upchurch takes for ball 1, that'll even the count up 1-1. Upchurch fouls this one off. Mason Bowers and Colby Diaz getting loose in the Raider bullpen. One and two, the count. Pitch down and away for ball 2. Two and two, the count. Deuces wild for Isaac Upchurch. The pitch, that's chopped on and hit foul down the third baseline. And Upchurch gets another opportunity. The 2-2 delivery, that's outside for ball 3. Upchurch has worked the count full. Figueroa running out of gas here in the 6th. The wind and the pitch. Ooh, that outside pitch.
Yep, that outside corner.
That he is given all evening long. Well, I'm not going to say he's inconsistently given all night long or all afternoon long. Catches Upchurch looking for out number 3, and that will do it for the Raiders in the 6th. The Raiders get 2 runs on 1 hit, 3 left aboard On to the 7th we go. Raiders lead this one 2-1. Thanks in large part to Fisher Kingsbury, who is back on the hill to pitch the 7th for the Raiders.
Timely hit. Needed it.
Kingsbury looking to get the complete game and pick up the win and send the Raiders forward into the playoffs to face Porter next week. And all the details of that will be sorted out. Some Cedar Creek fans beginning to trickle out. I don't know why anybody would want to leave this game.
We've got
It's been a pitcher's duel all afternoon long.
Sure has. Anything can happen. Let's
For the Eagles, number 20,
let's hold off and see, folks.
Garrett Seagraves.
Number 20, Garrett Seagraves, will lead off the 7th for the Eagles. Kingsbury to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Seagraves 1 for 2 with a double and a ground out to second base.
Ooh.
He will take for ball 1 a pitch that was up around his head.
Sailed up.
One ball, no strikes to Seagraves. From the stretch, this is cut on and hit out toward right center. Dalton Porter over, he makes the catch. And that will retire Seagraves in the 7th.
That'll bring up number 3 for the Eagles, Aiden Prince.
Aiden Prince, he is 0 for 1, and he's been hit by a pitch and struck out. Kingsbury with a solid performance for the Raiders. Swing and a miss on a curveball for strike 1. Raiders looking to close the door on this one and move on in the playoffs. Slider gets by Garcia for ball 1. Garcia has had a fairly good day behind the plate today, Scott.
Sure has. Like I said, this is a good combo here. They've usually teamed up all season.
1-1 misses low for ball 2. Tying run is at the plate. From the stretch, the pitch that hits
Now you hate to see that.
Friends right in the back. It's the second time he's been hit this afternoon.
You don't want to put anybody on base.
Carson Kawazo will pinch hit for Payne Allen.
And pitch hit for the Eagles, number 25,
Carson Kawazo.
Carson Cavazo.
We're guessing that's how you say it. Nobody actually told us, but we didn't hear any corrections from the stands and say that's Kawazo or Cavazo or how many other different ways that you might be able to say that name. So Kawazo it is, as he will stand in for the first time this afternoon. Prinz at first, winning run is at the plate. Well, hold on just 1 second.
Oh,
Payne Allen, they changed their mind.
yeah.
It is going to be number 2 for the Eagles.
Payne Allen will.
Payne Allen.
It's interesting because Carson Kawazo was coming to the plate. He never stepped into the box. If he had, they would have to.
He was committed.
He was committed then, but because he didn't, Payne Allen able to take his regular spot. He takes for strike one. Allen is 0 for 2. He has struck out and popped up to the catcher. The 0-1, it's in the dirt for ball one. You'd really like to get him to either hit into a double play, get the punch out, and then get Benji Garrison, because you got Philip Figueroa, who is looming.
Yes, very dangerous.
Throw over to first, not in time, as Prinz dives back in safely. Mason Bowers and Colby Diaz getting loose again. The 1-2, that's a chopper hit over toward Bennett. The throw over to second in time. Not able to turn two, but they get the lead runner as Allen hits into a fielder's choice.
That brings up number 22 for the Eagles, Benji Garrison.
6-4 on the putout of Aiden Prinz. That will bring up Benji Garrison. Garrison is 0 for 2. He was ruled out on the infield fly rule and grounded back to the pitcher, back in the fourth. Throw over, not in time. Kingsbury from the stretch. The pitch. Garrison takes for strike one. Nothing in one, the count to Garrison. He takes for strike two on a pitch that was way, way out of the strike zone. Interesting.
And we have the Rouse fans are going
They
crazy.
A lot of them are on their feet as Garrison down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses low and away for ball one. Kingsbury comes set. The 1-2 has cut on a little blooper to second. Lewis has it, lobs over to first in time, and that will do it. The Raiders will advance into round two of the playoffs as they defeat Cedar Creek 2-1. Large part off the bat of Fisher Kingsbury today. Went 3 for 3. 2 singles, a 2-run RBI triple. The Raiders defeat the Cedar Creek Eagles and move on.
It's a great game on either side today. Went down to the wire, pitching duel, and that's what playoff games are all about. Hats off to the Cedar Creek Eagles.
Oh, Cedar Creek, I mean, they led this one through 5 innings,
Right.
1-0. Solid, as you mentioned, pitching duel between Fisher Kingsbury and Philip Figueroa. The Raiders able to get 2 runs in the 6th inning to steal this one away from Philip Figueroa and the Eagles.
I got to tell you, when Mount made that steal on second, I just knew he was out. And that kept the rally going. When he was called safe, I guess the second baseman dropped the ball. And then Kingsbury came up and hit a timely line drive all the way down to the right field line, went to the corner.
So, it's interesting. It's little miscues like that end up costing you. Because at that time, had Mount.
That would have been third out.
Yeah, that would have been a third out, and we'd still be playing baseball right now.
We'd still be playing, buddy. Well, what do they say? Baseball's a game of inches. It's a game that played at a leisurely pace but demands blinding speed. Folks, we'd also like to thank, excuse me, Mike, I just want to really thank our friends at Glen Baseball again for making available their field, the press box, the concessions open. That's what LISD baseball is all about.
Yes, big shout out to them and a big thanks for opening their facilities for us to come over and play today. And
see quite a few Grizzly players out in the stands walking around, Grizzly shirts on. That's always nice.
It is, and great turnout. Look at all the people that are here this afternoon. What an outstanding performance by Fisher Kingsbury, both at the plate and on the mound.
Can't say enough.
He pitches a complete game.
Matt Garcia had a really good game catching.
1-run
Yeah.
game, and steals this one away from the Cedar Creek Eagles 2-1 as he picks up the win and also drives in the winning run, the tying and winning run.
So where are we off to next, Mike?
That will be settled after this game. Coach Crimpine will call and talk with the Porter coach, and they will decide if it'll be a home and home or if it's going to be played at a neutral location. Most likely it will be a Friday and Saturday thing, but it could be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Could be, yeah.
Possibly. Your by-district champions are out there for photo opportunities, and I think your wife's out there getting pictures too. So David Little out there getting some pictures, so hopefully we'll see them posted on Facebook soon. But a tip of the hat to the Rouse Raiders, who are your by-district champions, as they defeat the Cedar Creek Eagles 8-3 and 2-1 in a best-of-3 series. Solid performance by Fisher Kingsbury and Andrew Garcia behind the plate today. So, thankful for their outstanding efforts. Thankful to the Rouse faithful for showing up in force here at Glen High School today. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Look for the details on Facebook and Twitter. Rouse Baseball will post and tweet those things out. And if you don't see them there, you can go to Texas High School Baseball website, and you can follow there, and that will show you where the times and the locations for the next round of the playoffs. And it will also show you the results of this week's action. So for Scott Mount, I'm Michael Francis, the SHN Network. We wish you all the best. Good afternoon, and God bless each and every one of you. We will see you this week, sometime, somewhere.
There we go. Have a safe weekend, folks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening.